With silver and gold bouncing a lot and driving, we're getting a lot of questions asking, where should I be? And there's never a perfect conversation on bullion versus collectibles. That's a personal thing, and it always should be. But we're always looking for the needles in the haystack, the coins that kind of have their own life cycle because of their, well, their story, their quality, their chapter in history. And tonight we have a gold piece that is the end of an era, the last of its kind, and as a result, highly sought after. So for a few minutes, we get to spend some time on it. Over the last 4 months, we've put together a handful, and I mean literally, I can fit all the coins we have in my hand, a handful of, well, one of the most significant coins in U.S. history. You are looking at the Bella Leon Pratt in-Cuse design 2.5 Indian. Now remember, President Theodore Roosevelt changed our coinage designs, and the first one changed were the gold coins in 1907, and that was Augusta St. Gaudens. The big $20 gold piece, which is now the design of our American Eagle, and then the $10 Indian, but then he got sick, unable to continue the program. So we hire Bella Leon Pratt to design 2 unique coins that will actually be used in circulation. Because remember, the big Saints, the $20 gold pieces, and the $10 Indians were more of a business-to-business, government-to-government transaction type of monetary. So they come up with this new idea. All of our coins in history, all of them, are raised issues, right? Which means, like George Washington on the quarter, it's raised, right? Lincoln on the cent, it's raised off the surface. Well, this is the exact opposite. Everything you're looking at on the design here is dug into the coin, including United States of America, including In God We Trust. So even though it looks like the Indian is like a normal coin being pulled off the coin, no different than George Washington, Lincoln, or any of our other legal tender coins of the day, this one's, everything is dug in. If you took plaster of Paris and rubbed it across the coin, you would see nothing. Everything would be recessed. So it's an in-Cuse design, first time and only time in American history. We started it in 1908. It ended in 1929. This is the bookend. However, this denomination also ended in 1929. Today we have the American Eagle series. We have a $5 gold piece, a $10 gold piece, a $50 gold piece, right? That is out there. We do not have a $2.5 gold piece any longer. It ended in 1929. It is the last of something. It is the end of a chapter, the end of an era. Now try finding these coins as the other side of it. Because again, in 1934 we had what happened? Well, President Roosevelt, FDR, had the Gold Act, right? Pulled back gold ownership, which means most people turned everything they had in. Now, the big banks, $10 golds, $20 1-ounce pieces, the St. Gaudens, were all sent over to Europe or other places for storage to bypass the government's melting, right? And developing its own stockpile. You know, the Depression was going on, and this was just a hedge. We pulled silver dollars in 1935, the end of the peace dollar, and we have a new chapter in U.S. history. Well, the last of its kind is something to remember. The last $5 Indian, the brother-sister coin of this one, was 1929. In uncirculated condition, that's a $50,000 coin. Good luck finding them, they're special. The $10 gold I talked about was 1933. And that $10 uncirculated coin is a $50,000 coin in uncirculated condition. That beautiful St. Gaudens, the 1-ounce gold, is 1933. And again, it was the coin that was not supposed to be made. They made a small number. A private family had them. The government sued them for going back and forth. Finally, the last one of them sold for $7.5 million. And then there's the workman's gold coin of the early 1900s, the 2.5. It's still affordable. compared to everything else that's the end of an era, the chapter ending coins that are not. Now my competition, they have a generic 2.5 Indian. Basically it just means it'll be a 2.5 Indian. It'll be a random date between 1908, the first year of issue, and 1929, the last year of issue. It'll be a P and or a D, the two mints that struck the coin. And right now, they're selling those for $9. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? $925. Let's jump onto that website and buy that $9 coin. $925 a piece. We're selling the actual end of the era piece. The 1929. The last $2.50 gold piece ever made by the U.S. Mint. Of this unique, only in-cuse design coin in U.S. history. And look at where we are. Under 7. Yeah, something special. Especially with gold at 3,300 plus. Guys, give me a 1-minute clock, please. If you're visiting us via the web, avccoins.com. And thank you. It's in your shopping cart. Thank you. Push it through. I have more phone calls going through right now than I have coins left. That happens. It just is. We only have we're not going to chase this one down. We don't do that. We have it and we talk to you about it and then it ships the next day. That's our way of doing business. But tonight, it's just something special. Whenever we can find 2.5s, we do. Because it's the workman's coin, which means high-end coins are fewer in between because, again, all the big denominations were saved, placed in banks. The smaller denominations were turned in and melted. So finding one, that's just a fun chapter. So join us with the last 2.5 Indian, the last $2.50 gold piece ever struck by the U.S. Mint. You're looking right at it. It's a 1929. It is known as the in-cuse Indian. We have a limited number, not 9 1/4 for a generic coin. Tonight, we're at $699.95, the AVC way. And it's the bookend, the end of that chapter. And thanks.